All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back, and welcome to 2026. Hopefully, you all are ready to start this new year off on a brand new leaf. Believe it or not, this year for 2026 actually happened with 111. And I know that's kind of weird because I can hear some of you asking me, it's 2026. Where do you get the 1? Well, 2026, if you add the 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 6 together, that gives you 10. And in numerology, 1 plus 0 goes back to 1. So we're actually starting this year with a clean slate. And that's what this is for this year. As I told you guys, we were going to get back into the motion of doing tarot cards, back into the swing of things. I also told you that this year we would be incorporating my dowsing rods. So I do have these here. These are with me. And I'm going to incorporate these in a way that allows us to ask questions. So, how I do this, because people who use dowsing rods, they have their own form of communication. I reach out to my spirit guides, of course. Usually it's my meditet who responds the most. Meditets, for those of you who do not know, are spirit guides who were assigned to you the day you were born. So everyone's got one. Everyone has a meditet. Even when you think you don't have one, you do. So let's see if I can get them to come through. When I ask questions, when they cross, that means yes. When they expand outwards, that means no. So we'll see if we can get this to cooperate, see if we can get them to come through. Give me just a moment here to connect with my meditet. Usually they're really good about responding right away, so we'll see what happens. Meditet, are you here? I'm hearing I am, but I don't want to do this for the camera. Yes. Okay, we just have a few questions. I promise this will be brief. So we are, of course, getting ready to do our tarot. I want to touch base on the subject that we are talking about today. Will you be able to help us with that? Yes. Thank you. It was a small yes, but thank you. Will we be talking about relationships today? No answer. Okay. Ooh. It's kind of a small no. Thank you. Will we be talking about our personal journeys today? Once again, kind of a small no. Will we be talking about work? Work and finances? Here, better question. Will we be talking about more than one subject today? Maybe. Are you camera shy? Yes. Okay. Um, okay. Would you rather I just take a look at the cards and see, what comes through? That was a definite yes. Um, so you don't want to commune like this for the time being? No answer. I kind of put him on the spot. Just like me, I don't think the spirit guide likes to be put on the spot this way. Um, yes, thank you. Um, so we're going to put these down and we're going to get right on into the reading. We'll just see what wants to come through. So thank you, Spirit Guide, very much for joining us. We greatly appreciate it. Yes, thank you. I release your energy. Thank you very much for joining us. Didn't know my spirit guides were a little camera shy. That's totally fine. It's totally fine. Some people, sit in front of the camera. They can do this. Other people, not so much. So we're going to take a look and see what wants to come through. As always, take what resonates, leave what does not. I am using the Threads of Fate Shadow Edition today. Trying to get a darker side of things. I will also use, of course, the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reed, just to see what wants to come through with both a lighter and darker side of things. I'm sorry. I'm just tickled. I'm tickled by the fact that my Meditet does not want to sit in front of a camera like I do, because usually they're very responsive. As you all know, when I first started, I did also not want to sit in front of a camera and do this for people, so it must, you know, be an intuition thing on my end. I'm sorry. I'm just very tickled by this. But let's see where we're going. Let's see what wants to come through. Underneath, we have surrender. Okay. Why are you yelling at me, Cosmo? Yes, Cosmo's in the room. In fact, he's over there giving me attitude but he's had attitude all day today. Surrender. In your past energy, we have transmute. In your future energy, we have movement. Okay, I like that. Grounding you, we have reclaim. Okay, and what's guiding you? And guiding you, we have the creator. So, with what I'm getting on an undercurrent side of things, you know, surrendering is very difficult. It is very difficult. It's kind of like a go with the flow sort of energy, but taking it a step further than that, it's also about not trying to control the flow and how things are going to go. No, I see that you are trying to manifest, you are trying to create something here, you are reclaiming your power, which is great. I want you guys, you know, to continue to reclaim your power here this year. That is, you know, what this year is going to be about for me, and hopefully for you guys, reclaiming who you are as individuals, finding that spark again, finding those things that allow you to create a better version of you and the world that you stand in. But in order to do that, you have to be able to transmute some things. You have to be able to work with what you have to be able to shift it into something better. Easier said than done, I know. This year, you know, my New Year's resolution is to be a better version of me. And I left it vague for a reason. You know, you can set individual goals, and that's totally fine. But for me, when I set individual goals like that, I get very defeated when I don't meet those goals. It's very disheartening for me. So I left it vague. I have an idea. I've got plans in place that are going to allow me to become the better version of myself. But they're more like milestones, and I'm viewing them as milestones and not as goals. That way I don't get disheartened halfway through the year. Now, when we start to transmute this energy and when we start to, you know, allow things to shift and transmute and allow to just flow with the energy, then we get movement, which is good. You want to no longer stagnate within this energy. I don't want you guys to stagnate within this energy. That would suck. So, on a more heavier side of things, you know, you guys, I do see are doing the work, which is good. I just saw come to the edge, which is right there. You guys are definitely going to be stepping out of your comfort zones this year. That's what I want for you. That's what I want for myself. I want you guys to be the best versions that you are, that you could be. So let's see what the lighter side of things are. Let's see what these beautiful cards have to say, and then we'll definitely get into the tarot and, you know, see what else wants to come through. And I may try the dowsing rods one more time, just to make sure that I've covered my bases. We'll see if we can get somebody else to come through if my Meditet is a little camera shy. Alright, underneath we have the Observer. Absolutely. Absolutely. We also have Go the Distance here. I will take that with Unfinished Symphony, and here is Come to the Edge. Grounding this energy is Divine Feminine of Yin. Guiding this energy is Mending. I see kind of a theme here. I see a theme here with the Observer, you know, Go the Distance, Unfinished Symphony, and Come to the Edge. We'll cross all of these bridges here. Message in a Bottle. and then where you're going is co-create. So the universe is wanting to co-create with you, but there are a few steps that you have to do before that, before, you know, it wants to work with you. Kind of like a little checklist, okay? So with the brighter side of things, and, you know, this kind of mirrors the energy here from the lighter side to the darker side, we have observer and go the distance. You know, there are things here that you need to just let unfold. Let it unfold, let it be. Especially if it goes unfinished. I know with me, talking from personal experience, I don't like unfinished things. Unfortunately, sometimes that's the way the world works. And that was something that I had to get behind, was the fact that that's just kind of the way the world works. There may be projects that go unfinished, you know, things that have just run its course that, you know, you want it to continue, but it's done. It's not really that type of energy where it's ran its course. I feel as though it'd be kind of, you know, a puzzle that you're working on, and then you don't get to work on the puzzle anymore, and it just goes unfinished. And the reason why it goes unfinished is because you have a message, or had a message that came in that drew your attention away from what you were doing. And that's okay. You know, life is about going with the flow, about surrendering. Hello. So don't be discouraged, you know, if things from 2025 get put on the back burner, or, you know, if it gets to the point where it just kind of disappears altogether. Because I feel as though your attention is being shifted and you're going to be required to work on other things. In the process of all of this, you know, yin and mending. There is some emotional bonds with yourself, and, you know, it could be with others, but I'm mainly focused on you, of course, that need to be mended. You know, we just watched Wicked again. We finally got For Good. Love it. Love that movie. And in the end, you know, spoilers, just to throw this out there, you know, the two girls had to embrace their emotional sides. I'm trying to tiptoe this line that way I don't ruin anything for anyone. The girls had to embrace their emotional sides before, you know, they could move forward with their lives. It's a lot of heartbreak. It's a lot of mending personal experiences that really kind of brought about grief or uncertainty. So that's what I feel as though this energy is your attention is being pulled from one thing to another. That way you can focus on you. Focus on surrendering and mending the things that need mended for your life in order for you to have this movement and to co-create with the universe. Now, when you give something up, I can hear some of you saying this too. This is a big reading. I'm already at almost 15 minutes here and I haven't even gotten to the tarot yet. But this is big energy here. Because, I'm hearing some of you tell me, well, you know, if I'm giving this up, I'm losing a piece of me. That's not what this is. You are reclaiming that part of you. You're reclaiming the energy you put into that. I'm not saying that it didn't happen. What I'm saying is that, you know, you may have poured your heart and soul, again, back to the puzzle. You may have spent hours on this puzzle. Great. But now that you're no longer working on the puzzle, you can tell yourself, you know, hey, I know for a fact that I can sit for long periods of time or work on tedious things because I worked on this puzzle before. So you're taking your energy back from that puzzle to be able to shift and move through other projects, which is a good thing. It is a good thing. We're going to move forward with the tarot now. I'm done talking about the oracle cards because this was a lot of energy for the beginning of this year. I have a new set of cards. I want to use them, but the problem is that they're kind of difficult for me to read. So we won't use these today. We will eventually use these, but I'm not going to use these today. I'm going to use the Souls on Fire Tarot by Mary Jo Cranmore and Juliet Gilden. Love these. Love these. We'll see what wants to come through. This is some really big energy. Give it one more. One more. Now my spirit guides are talking to me when they're not called out in front of the camera. Of course. Alright. Underneath, we have the Knight of Swords, the Nine of Swords, the Knight of Wands, and the Eight of Swords, along with the World and the High Priestess and the Sun, with the Two of Pentacles, with the Four of Swords. Okay. Lots of messages coming in, lots of ideas coming into you. You know, some of you are getting these intuitive hits, getting these ideas, getting these, you know, late night hits of thoughts. And I recommend writing them down, first and foremost. But there are a bunch of messages coming into you. Now, just because these messages are coming into you doesn't necessarily mean you're hearing them. Nine of Swords and Eight of Swords, woof. These are really low vibrational energies. You know, here's you being awake at night. Here's you being stuck in these energies of situations that you put yourself in. It's not really good, and it can mostly be mental with the swords. Swords are about thoughts. You may be boxing yourself in, or you may already be boxed in with all of these thoughts and these intuitive things that are coming in, and you're like, I can't handle all of this. That's why I feel like the surrender is here. Ebb and flow, push and pull. Now, I do see an ending here. I do see endings with the World, fixed endings, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, and Aquarius, fixed signs. So I do see the endings here, and I do feel as though it is going to open up your intuition. It's going to open you up. With the High Priestess, the Sun, the Two of Pentacles, and the Four of Swords, there's healing here. There's happiness here. There's balance here. But I feel like the endings are important just as much as the messages are that are coming in. We have the Ace of Pentacles. There's a 1. With the 8 of Pentacles, 8 plus 1 is 9, the 9 of Pentacles, and there it is. I feel as though that some of you, with these new projects, may help you with the old projects. And it's going to help you be fulfilled. As I mentioned, you know, I don't like setting goals because if I don't reach those goals, I feel disheartened. That's just the way that I tweak the energy and fix my brain. That way I can move through all of this energy and not feel disheartened, as I said, halfway through it. So, new beginnings here. Physical new beginnings. Grounding this energy is the Ace of Wands. Of course it is. There's another ace. Guiding this energy is the Three of Swords. Okay. Past energy is the Devil. Future energy here is the Nine of Wands. I love that. We go from the Devil to the Nine of Wands. That tells me there's healing. The Star, wish fulfillment. Two of Cups, Ten of Swords, and the outcome is the Three of Cups. So there is success here. There is success here. I do want to take a look at this heartache, though. This pain. This pain and this fear. Why is that here? Queen of Wands. Judgment. Ten of Cups. Nine of Cups. Some of you are afraid to make the wrong choice. Some of you are afraid to make the wrong choice. I've been there. I've absolutely been there. And from what I can tell you, the only way that you're going to make a wrong choice is if you don't listen to yourself. Listen to your gut. Listen to your intuition. That means not letting fear run the show. That means really taking some time to sit with yourself, to meditate, to journal, to reflect. The only person who knows you in its whole entirety is you. Going back to the goal thing, you know, I'm the only person who knows that. You know, you hear about these people setting goals and like, oh, it works for me. That's great. I'm glad that works for you, but it doesn't work for me. I have to set milestones. I have to have a plan in place that allows me to move through it with ease. Some people, they set a goal, they reach it, they make another goal, they reach it. I have like different pockets of different things. And it makes me comfortable. And that's what I'm trying to get across to you guys is what works for me may not work for you and vice versa. But the only person who's going to know that is you. And so that's why I feel as though the surrender is here. The reclaim your energy is here. That's why I feel as though you need to be an observer in your own life to figure out where you need to tweak this energy. That's why this moment, this year is so important. It is very important that you really hone in on what it is you want to do and really put in the work. Really put in the work. What is the work? The Hierophant. The Six of Cups. The Queen of Cups. And the Justice card. Some of you may be holding on to some traditional things, some traditional way of doing things, and that's kind of why you're stuck. Others of you are not healing the past with the Queen of Cups and the Six of Cups, and some of you are getting lost there. But it is going to work itself out. It is. It is going to work itself out, but it is definitely a fine line that you have to walk here. I'm not saying you take tradition and throw it out the window. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you have to, sweep all the cards off the table and start over again. You can take little nidbits and pieces with you, but you can't take the whole thing with you when it comes to being the best version of you. You just can't. And that's where, some of us kind of flop. I flopped with it for the longest time. When I first started this, before I started this, it was, 2015? Almost 10 years ago? I was torn in my own spiritual journey because I believed that, things were one way, but my soul was telling me, well, I want to go this way. And so I thought that I couldn't merge the two. And that's where I was wrong. I could still do what I wanted to do while keeping my vibration high. And that, I feel as though is what's being asked of you, is to find a middle ground, to find this tightrope that you can walk through, to balance on. Balance is what's being asked of you. Zodiac signs that I see. Before we do that, I want to see the messages that are coming in. Zodiac signs that I see while I pull these. We've got Taurus, Sag, Leo, fixed signs Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, Cancer. I'll take Cancer, but that's Capricorn. Cancer, Capricorn, Aquarius. And that's what I see. What are these messages coming in? Queen of Swords, clarity. Death. Tower. And the Wheel of Fortune. The universe is on your side. It is just asking you to trust it, to take that leap, to trust yourself as well. But there is a transformation coming your way. There's definitely some reconstruction coming your way. But I feel as though that it is going to be for the betterment of you. For the betterment of you. You're going to get what you want. The Star, the Two of Cups, the Ten of Swords. I feel as though that once you... why am I seeing the North Star? You need guidance. You need guidance. And I feel as though once you follow that guidance, it'll lead you into this transformation. But I do feel like the noise may be too loud for some of you right now. The one that stopped me was, and I will translate some of this for you guys. Some of these don't need any sort of translation. But this one says, step away from the crazy-making diet for a hot second. Kale and spirulina taste like ass. eat some yummy shit, bacon, chocolate, beer. Go get some. Which means, you can follow a certain path for a while, but it's okay to have a cheat day every once in a while. And, I feel as though some of you are working yourselves to the bone that you may need a moment to step away, to observe, to surrender. Fuck fear. It will lie to your face. Huh. This one says shit is going down with your job. Reevaluate, change your perspective, or fucking quit. Some of you may also be dealing with a job that you don't like. That is part of you. It is. You can be in a miserable... My roommate loved her job. Until one day she didn't. Because, higher ups and different things were definitely starting to affect her being able to perform her job in the right way. She was very scared. She was very scared to surrender, to move through this energy to come out on the other side. Well, I'm here to tell you that she is now on the other side of this, loves her new job, is making so much more money than what she was at the previous job. And she was like, if I would have let fear stand in the way, I don't think I would have gotten this far. Sometimes you really have to just say fuck fear and do it anyway. You do you. Stop trying to change people. That shit never works. If you're dealing with bosses or coworkers or, people in your friends that are in your immediate circle who keep holding you back, you do you. You can't change them. You can only change you. You look like a shit show. You're a hot mess. Clean yourself up. What's underneath? It's dark and you can't see a fucking thing. Get your head out of your ass. Pronto. These are my sassy advice cards. I love these. These are... Where's the box? These are the Rebel deck. The Oracle with Attitude. Love these. Alright. Let's see if we can do this one more time. Just to make sure we covered our bases. Spirit guides, are you there? Yes. Perfect. Thank you. Did we cover our bases today? I'm getting a yes and no. Is it because everyone's spiritual journey is different? Yes. Did I cover the majority of my bases? Yes. Is this going to reach the right people? Yes. Thank you. Are you no longer camera shy? That was a slow yes, but thank you. Is there anything else that we need to tell them before they go? Yes. Okay. I'm listening. Everybody's spiritual journeys are going to look different. And it's up to you whether you want to step forward into this new version of you, or if you want to go down a different road. But the universe is going to work its magic one way or the other. And one way or the other, you're either going to get to where you need to be, or you're going to be swept away in the tidal wave. Now, I know that sounds scary, but don't be afraid of the changes that are coming in. And that's why the surrender is so important, yes? I see you trying. I see you trying to communicate. Is surrender just as important as movement in this particular instance? It's wanting to go yes, but they're telling me that's not the whole picture. Yes. You also need to mend with the past. Make peace with the past. That's a yes. They want me to remind you that you are the creator of your world. That is a yes. Thank you. And that You know, you wouldn't have gotten to this point without the universe and you know, co-creating with one another. Yes. So don't forget that you also have a say with where this is going. Um, but just be prepared. You know, the universe works in mysterious ways, and it's all about, you know, how you work with it and how it works with you, and surrendering, along with making what you want known to the universe. Because the universe is just going to keep bringing stuff into you if you don't give it some sort of direction. You and the universe are leading this ship, correct? Here, let me word that a little bit differently. It takes two to drive this ship forward. Yes and no. Is the universe going to have its hand out regardless? That is a no. Are you done talking? Have you officially had enough? Let me. Are you done talking? No. No. Will we need to practice this going forward? Yes. Is this it for now? That's a small yes. Well, thank you very much for your time. Alright, yes, thank you. Alright, guys, well, apparently there's a lot more to this than what me and my wonderful intuition can grab. But that just means that you need to take some time and listen to your intuition. Take this time, reflect. Meditate. Okay? Alright. Guys, this is what I have for you for our first video of the new year. Hopefully the next ones won't be as big. I believe we also just passed through a full moon, so I bet that's in there somewhere. We'll touch base with that as we go. So, but thank you guys very much for joining me. As always, your company is well appreciated. And I will see you all again later. Bye, guys.